It was just something that the Most High put in our spirits that it's time to leave. My channel is called Nice Corner. It's about me as a young diasporan woman being here, what it's like, because I really believe in more younger people coming here.
Absolutely.
You know, I've heard it all before I came here. Like, oh, is there internet? What will you do there? Almost like my life was going to be over by moving here. And that's not the way at all. You know, I feel more younger people, more millennials, and even my Generation Zers need to come and check it out. We have a idea that the only opportunities that you have are in the West. That's the only thing I have for you. But there's more opportunities.
Boom! What's up, guys? Welcome back to my channel. My name is Joannis or Joe Hatagwa. I'm a Sierra Leonean American living here in West Africa. And if you want to know why somebody would leave LA and move to Accra, Ghana, then this is the video for you. Okay, cool. So we're meeting up with Nigeria today. Her YouTube channel is called Nice Corner, and she's gonna tell us all about why she moved from Los Angeles to Accra, Ghana. She's gonna talk to us about what it's like dating here, what her experience has been like, what she's doing for a living while she's here, and a new project that she has coming up. So we're gonna get into all of that. Check it out right here. All right, guys, so I'm heading out right now to go to the Destination Africa outdoor location where I'm gonna shoot this interview with Nye from Nice Corner. So check it out. All right, guys, so I made it here. About to get ready to do my interview. Excited about it. I think it's gonna be a great conversation. We're running a bit late, but we'll get started soon. And I wanna thank Exotic Park Apartments. They do garden weddings, honeymoon facilities. They have events and receptions, canopy tables and chairs, sale and rentals. So if you guys are here in Accra and you wanna get married or you need a place for a honeymoon, this is the place for you. They got a shower for the pool, of course. And of course they got a pool, nice pool. South African antelope. What's up, guys? No, don't worry. I'm just saying hi. Hello. There she is. Getting set up.
I'm hot, y'all. Hot as the dickens.
It is warm. So this is what it's gonna look like from our angle. So what you see will be this angle. Boom! What's up, guys? Welcome back to my channel. My name is Joannis or Joe Hatagwa. I'm a Sierra Leonean American living here in Accra, Ghana. And today I have a special guest. I'm here with Nye from Nice Corner.
Hey, what's up, everybody?
And Nye, you and I met at the Meet and Create event. You got up and you told your story about moving here and you having a YouTube channel and what kind of content you do. And I said, I have to meet this woman, have to interview her. We did the live together last week.
That was so much fun.
So much fun.
It was a lot of fun. I really liked getting your perspective on dating here. We were able to kind of like talk about dating here from being from the diaspora, so that was fun.
That was fun. Yeah. And there was a lot of good questions too, right? So it was a really engaging live. So if you guys haven't seen it, go check out that live that we did. That was specifically about dating, what it was like being from the diaspora and dating here. In this interview, I want to do a little bit of a deeper dive in more of your holistic life because it's not all about dating. And so, but first of all, thank you for doing this interview.
Oh, well, no, thank you for having me. It's an honor. God bless you.
I appreciate it. Thank you so much. First of all, can you tell us a little bit about who you are,
okay,
where you're from, and what it is that you do here?
Oh gosh, I feel like I'm like on an interview. Well, I am on it for like a job interview, like, tell me who you are. No, just playing. Well, my name is, my real name is Niger Hayes, but Nye. Everybody calls me Nye. I am 27. I am from California, from the diaspora. I've been here for 4 years with my mom. I moved here when I was 23. And, you know, I have to say, it's been a really cool journey, you know, doing it. Of course, it's not always the best, but we're still adjusting. Sure. But I would much rather be here than the US. Okay, you know, especially at this particular time. Yeah. I would much rather be here than the US. You know, I'm just enjoying kind of like my young life here. Yeah. I guess you would say. Yeah. And a little bit, and I'm also dabbling a little bit in entrepreneurship now. So So it's all good.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. So 4 years is quite a bit of time. Take me back to the decision. So you and your mother moved here together.
Yes, right.
Right. And you moved from California.
Yes.
Okay. So what was the reason for making the decision to move to Ghana, you and your mother?
Okay, well, it was really for spiritual reasons.
Okay.
It was just, because our spiritual beliefs, we follow, we're followers of Christ, we follow the Most High, we follow the Bible. And it was just signs of the times. Right now, it's going on, even biblically, pertaining to America. I won't get deep off into that. It was just something that the Most High put in our spirits that it's time to leave.
Okay.
So much is going on now, and really kind of here in Ghana, it was put in our spirit. My mom actually was put in my mom's spirit first.
Okay.
Then she shared it with me. Then of course, she told me, "You're a grown woman, so you can make a decision whether you want to stay or whether you want to come with me."
Okay.
So I went into prayer myself, and he put in my spirit, yes, you need to follow her. You need to be a support system to her. And we were caring for my grandmother for about 7.5 years. And it's kind of interesting how that happened, because my mom was kind of like, we were first kind of like, are you sure you want us to move out of the country? Because at first we were talking about moving maybe down south to a southern state.
Okay.
But when he put almost in my mom's spirit, Ghana, she was like, are you sure? Are you giving me a bad taco, or I'm really hearing from you? And the confirmation was my grandmother's passing. And he was like, no, it's time for you to go. So in 1 month, we packed up everything we sold, gave away a lot of things. But kind of maybe it started like 2014, 2015, where we knew that we were preparing, to leave. So we were kind of preparing for a good 2-3 years.
Wow. Okay. Okay. So you were preparing to move, but not necessarily to Ghana.
Not necessarily to Ghana. Well,
or did you know even the 2 years prior that Ghana was where you wanted to move?
Probably 3 years we knew that we were going to move.
Okay.
We were going to move out of the country.
Yeah.
But Ghana, maybe in about like a couple years.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So why Ghana? What made you decide that you wanted to come to Ghana, right? There's so many places outside the US that you could go to. What made you think Ghana was the place to come to?
That's where he told us to come to.
Okay.
Yeah, because I was actually thinking that myself, I'm going to be really honest with you. Even on the continent, there are other countries here on the continent. Why Ghana? But it was, the confirmation came through my grandmother's passing.
Wow.
That he ordained our footsteps to come to Ghana.
Okay. Wow. Okay, so you've been here now 4 years, you said? Okay. What has it been like adjusting since you got here?
It's been like adjusting.
Yeah.
Well, like I shared before, I will always be an American woman, Black American woman. So, the adjusting, it's better than it was, but it's still a process.
Sure.
For me, I guess say my consolation of being here is that this is something that He has ordained. And I have to say, He has been providing for us beautifully here. The Lord, He's really been providing for us. And, adjusting here, you're going to have, I'm not going to lie and say, oh, it's going to be smooth sailing. Of course, it varies on people's own personal experiences. Right. But, 9 times out of 10, it's going to be an adjustment, because at the end of the day, this is not the West.
Right.
So the systems are different.
Yep.
The mindset of the people is different. The way things are done are different.
Right.
So those, you have to kind of bring into perspective all of that.
Yeah.
Kind of visiting here and turning up for a couple weeks or, a few weeks is far different from living here.
Right.
Yeah. So
for sure.
So of course you have to be very patient. Being here in Ghana has taught me and my mother patience. You have to be very, very patient. And of course, things aren't going to happen the way it is going to happen in the West.
Right.
It's just not.
Right.
It's not.
Yeah, I would say I agree with you 100%. Patience is probably the biggest virtue that I've been able, the muscle, the flexing the patience muscle has been something that I've had to learn to do for sure. Okay, so we did talk about this a little bit. I'd love for you to talk about a little bit about what your dating life has been like. So, you moved here as a single woman. I moved here as a single guy. I've expressed on many different interviews and things what my dating life has been like. But I'd love to hear from you as a single Black woman from the US, where there's a lot of conversations about dating as a single Black woman in the US, right?
Yes.
So there's a lot of conversation about that. How has it been different dating here in Ghana?
Ooh, different. Okay. I would say it's been different. Of course, there's positives and negatives
Sure.
of dating here. I'm
Okay.
not gonna lie. The positive note of like younger men that are here, they're more respectful, you know, versus some of the guys that I've seen in the States. You know, they're respectful towards my mom, they're respectful towards me. And of course, not all, but most guys that I've seen here, it's just a little bit more of a respect.
Sure.
In terms of the negative side, as I shared in the interview, and I'm speaking to my brothers and sisters from the diaspora, it is very important to take things slow. Okay? You cannot come here, you shouldn't.
Right.
You shouldn't come here with rose-colored glasses on when it comes to dating. I'm not saying that you're not gonna find your African prince or king, and you know, my brothers find your queen. I'm not saying that.
Right.
But what I am saying is that you can't get caught up and swept up. You have to get to know, because it's a different culture. Of course, also, you know, opportunity. You are seen as opportunity for some. So you have to just know if that person's really down for you. You have to know the culture, the customs. When you hear the M word, I know ladies, that gets us going when we hear the M word, and I love you, but you have to really check that person out. You got to make sure that that man doesn't have other wives. You have to make sure that what tribe he comes from, what his religious practices are, because it's a different culture.
Right.
You know, we come with the mindset of the West.
Right.
But it's not. You know, marriage is different. I even interviewed a lady on my channel that's been here for 20 plus years from the diaspora. She knows a lot about Ghanaian culture. Her daughter's married to a Ghanaian, and she's kind of enthralled in the culture. And she was giving a lot of advice of different red flags that you need to watch out for. Like I said, even with my brothers too, you know, and with single women here, make sure that the person is down for you, you know. But I have to say, there's some beautiful men, beautiful women here, so it's easy to get swooped up. I'm not gonna lie, it really, really is. But just make sure that that person is down for you and not trying to, you know, run game on you. And there's things that you need to watch out for. But of course, that comes with time. So please take your time when it comes to dating here, please.
That's great advice. That's great advice.
And no online sending money. I don't recommend it. Please, I don't mean to cut you, but please, online dating, I've seen it. I've seen it. I've have experience with people who've gotten burned of online dating, sending money. Always go where your money goes, okay? That's just my advice. You know, of course, people can take it or leave it, but that's just my advice. Be careful.
Yeah, that's really, really good advice. I can tell you that I've seen it. We've all seen it. People who send money or who jump into something without, like, you know, doing their due diligence and vetting and all of that kind of stuff, and they find out later all kinds of different things. But yeah, on that note though, so, you know, obviously for someone who is really spiritual and really in tune with your religion, being Christian, what I've noticed here is that Ghanaians also tend to be very religious, right?
Yeah.
I noticed, like, for instance, we're doing this on a Sunday. Nothing is open on Sundays before like 1 p.m., right?
That's true.
Because everybody's at church. Everybody's at church. So what has that been like dating, right? So like, because I know in the US, people tend to be more agnostic or maybe aren't as religious. So have you seen that to be better for you when you're dating here? Or is it similar, or is there similarities or differences with that?
That's a good question. That's a really good question. In terms of, because I'm spiritual. I wouldn't say religious.
Okay,
but
spiritual.
I'm spiritual. I'm a spiritual person, but I'm not overly I'm not preachy or anything like that. And I know that this may sound a little weird, but I wouldn't consider myself a Christian per se. I'm a follower of Christ, because Christianity has, you know, some things that are laced within it that I don't go with. Things that are not biblical. Because I only go by what's in the Bible. Christmas is not in the Bible. Worshiping on Sunday is not in the Bible. You know, so I could get into a whole thing of that, but I know who I am and kind of the lineage of where I come from as a melanated person. When it comes to the Most High and the Messiah, I know I know where I come from. So I would say kind of pre-Constantine Christianity.
So does that actually come into conflict, right? Because
a little bit, because of course here, going to church, doing this, doing that,
right.
And I mean, and that's cool, that's fine. But there's certain practices that we do that are by tradition,
sure,
and not exactly what the Most High said in His Word. But we're doing it just because we were taught this is the way to do it.
Right.
So I guess kind of like in here, it's kind of like, wait, what? It can be a little confusing.
Sure.
For some people, So that is a little bit of a challenge of mine of dating here.
I get that.
Yeah.
I get that.
If that makes sense.
No, it does. It does. Because I think it's just nuance.
Yeah.
Not a lot of things in this world come with nuance, right?
Yeah.
People are very black and white on a lot of different things,
right?
So I do totally understand that. Okay, so we talked about your adjusting here, what it's been like dating.
Mm-hmm.
So, beyond that, right?
Yes.
I know that you've also started a YouTube channel.
Mm-hmm. Correct.
And so with that channel, I think tell us about your channel. What's it called, and what kind of content you're doing on your channel?
Okay, well, my channel is called Nye's Corner.
Mm-hmm.
It's about me as a young diasporan woman being here, what it's like, because I really believe in more younger people coming here.
Absolutely.
I've heard it all before I came here. Like, oh, is there internet? What will you do there? Almost like my life was going to be over by moving here.
Mm-hmm.
And that's not the way at all. I feel more younger people, more millennials, and even my Generation Zers need to come and check it out, because we have a idea that the only opportunities that you have are in the West. That's the only thing out for you. But there's more opportunities. There's opportunities for you abroad. You kind of have to expand your options.
Yep.
So I want to kind of be that advocate for younger people that are coming here.
Sure.
So my channel's about that. It's also like an information place for diasporans that are looking to come here. I've interviewed people dealing with relationships, dealing with marriage, I've interviewed a contractor, I've interviewed real estate agents, a fashion designer, different kind of resources that could possibly help people coming over here.
Nice.
So it's all about that. And I've also had a couple videos too dealing with bridging the gap between diasporans and people on the continent, especially Ghanaians.
Okay.
So yeah, that's what my channel's about. And relationships, dating, we get into all that. So it's just a fun, light, hip channel.
So you talked a little bit about bridging the gap. What kind of topics come up in bridging the gap between local Africans and international diasporans coming here?
Oh, that's a good question. A lot of topics that come up.
Yeah, what kind of topics were covered in some of those pieces of content?
Really, the biggest one is the elephant in the room. And the elephant in the room meaning that, of course, coming here, we all look alike. We come from a similar lineage. But of course, it's almost like a cousin. If a cousin's been gone for decades, centuries, and they come back home, they've gone to a totally another place. But are they going to assimilate well? Are you going to understand them? Are they going to understand you?
Right.
So I really feel that it's in terms of understanding each other. And the elephant in the room is dealing with different misconceptions that we have about each other. Even different, kind of like in the past, what has happened. And, because I'm the type of person where you have to address the past in order to heal.
Sure.
I don't sweep things under the rug.
Yeah.
Because how can you heal that way?
Right.
It's time to be open and honest. On both sides.
Right.
So in order to understand that past family member that's coming back, have to understand them, and the family member that's come back has to understand the other person.
Right.
But like I said, there's things that have been done in the past that we need to address. So I did, some topics. Even Wadamea, he was a part of the conversation. Shout out to Wadamea. I really appreciated him taking out the time to join the conversation that I had in my home. And what he brought was absolutely beautiful, along with others that were just absolutely amazing, both from the diaspora and from the continent.
Okay.
I had the president and CEO of 1 Billion Africa, Prince Apia. He was there along with his colleague Israel Fuga. I had even YouTuber Tim Swine.
Okay.
Those of you guys that are familiar with Tim Swine, he came, and just a really dynamic, awesome people who carved out their time. You know, even Nana Ashanti, another YouTuber, she came as well. Just really addressing the issue, and it was a beautiful conversation. But it's almost kind of like, where do we go from here?
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Well, I think the first thing to do is acknowledge it. Right, and have the discussion to begin with. I think that's where it starts, right? At that point, you can figure out how to address it and work to build. I love that you had that conversation. I'm gonna have to check it out. I actually didn't know about it, but now I'm gonna check it out.
Yeah, definitely check it out. And for those of you who haven't seen it, definitely check it out. I would love to. It's always good to have dialogue like that.
Absolutely, and this is a conversation I think that needs to be had. I think we do a lot of our communication online is complaining about our worlds, whether that's here or there in the West. I mean, there's not a lot of conversation about how we build together these two groups. There's always talk about in the US, how do we as a Black group do this? People on the continent talk about how we in Africa can do more. But I think it's really important that us both groups, because we have information and we have skill sets that I think with our powers combined, we really can build something.
Exactly, and I love when you said that, because the powers that be don't want us to come together. Because they know that when we come together, we're forced to be reckoned with because of who we are as a people. And so they know that. So they try to keep us divided. Yeah. You know, so divide and conquer, right?
Exactly. And that's how it worked to begin with, and it's still working. There is this divide between Africans and diasporans. Now, from what I understand and from what I've experienced, generally it's the generation before us that tend to have some issues. Some of those things start to shift a little bit. But what has your experience been like dealing with locals? Does that come up in your conversation, like how Black Americans are perceived by Africans? And what are you seeing now, at least for people in our age range? Is it shifting a little bit, or is it still some of the older viewpoints that you might have heard before?
I feel that being here as a Black American and from the diaspora, from abroad, and I understand that kind of this happens between Ghanaians as well. But I see that we're kind of looked upon as an opportunity to target. And you know, automatically if you have money, which is not the case. You know, we're trying to make it just like everybody else. And let me see kind of how I can capitalize on this opportunity. When all I'm trying to do is bond with my fellow brothers and sisters. It shouldn't really be about that. It should be about, you know, welcoming us home, genuinely from your heart. Okay, genuinely from your heart. It's not about, well, let me see how I can get over on my fellow brother and sister. But you know, a lot of misconceptions, you know, thinking that, you know, Americans are, I guess, say a little more aggressive, and we might be, but it's like that's because of our environment. Sure. You know, it's based upon our environment. We just happen to speak up when something's not going right. Right. Again, I'm not going to say that the sky is green when it's blue. I'm not going to do that. And I feel that kind of it's looked down upon. That, oh, well, you know, this is a person, you speak your mind and whatever. You know, there's a difference between being assertive and being aggressive. And I think here, they see it's coupled as one. And there's a big difference. Yeah. So, you know, so I feel that, like I said, it's just, you know, we come from two different sides of the track. Right. And we have to have time to understand, you know, one another. And to really come together, because both sides have something to bring. Right, I agree 100%. I love that. Okay, and so on that note, I want to kind of wrap it up a bit, but I want to talk to you a little bit about your new business that you're getting ready to start. Can you talk about that? Of course. Okay. I'd love to hear about it. So for those of you that are coming here, right, you've been here, 4 years? Yes. So you don't have to come here and start something right away, right? You could take some time to get to know the lay of the land, and then determine what it is that you want to do and what you want to build. So I just want to say that because I think a lot of people think that they have to come here with an idea of what they want to do. And you can come with ideas, but you need to be on the ground first to determine whether or not your idea makes sense. And so with that, can you talk a little bit about what it is that you and your mother are building together? Okay. Talk to everything, the name, the business, all of it. Well, I actually, if it's okay, I want to definitely piggyback off of what you said. Sure, absolutely. Not all the time, and I'm really speaking to people, not all the time you're going to come with a plan. If the inner voice or the Most High is telling you to go, please go. You know, because by being here, it's been a faith walk. It's been a total faith walk. You know, you guys can go to my channel, check out even deeper in depth in my story. For the sake of time, I won't get into it, but there has been so many times where the Most High, the Lord, has come through the 99.9th hour for us, you know, and really by being here, you really have to trust him. And like I said, I'm speaking to people who are maybe afraid to come because, oh, well, I don't have this going on. What am I going to do in terms of business? How am I going to make it? You know, it's new. But if, like I said, I'm only speaking to the people that the Most High spoke to or feel that inner voice and his spirit coming through your heart. He has got you. No matter what, you will be provided for and you will be taken care of. So please, I'm a testimony to being obedient to him. So definitely, I'm speaking to my brothers and sisters. It may be a little scary, but if you're being led to come here, please come. Yeah, I just wanted to just add to that. But in terms of business, like you said, because I'm also a technical writer. I work online, so that's kind of been also sustaining me too. But now getting into the entrepreneurial vein, I'm starting a food business. Yeah, it's a food business. It's American food.
Okay.
It's American food, but also kind of with the Ghanaian twist in terms of maybe fitting the palate. Okay. Of, you know, some Ghanaians, we're serving like kind of like American like comfort food, like grilled fried chicken, different rice dishes. It's gonna be really good. Yes. It really is, because it's so funny. I was never a cook. I'm gonna be really honest with you. Being in the States, I was never a cook. I mean, come on, fast food all the place, convenient food, you're working, don't feel like cooking, you know, and if any cooking was going on, my mom would cook. Right. But by being here, you have to cook. Of course, there's fast food places here, but not the variety as it is in the States. And my mom suffers from really bad arthritis. So kind of it's thrusted me a little bit in the kitchen. Sure. And I've discovered a love for cooking. Nice. So I'm taking that skill to around our area. Okay. We're going to be serving some really, really good food. Like I said, different like chicken bowls, different. We have a lot on the roster. Okay. Maybe some potato salad. I mean, it's going to be good. Nice. It's going to be good.
Nice. And I think it's a great idea because one of the places that people order from the most is KFC. Mm-hmm. So, which has like a sort of a Ghanaian twist on American fast food. Yes. And so there is a palate or a want for things that are not just Ghanaian. People do like to switch it up a little bit. Right. So I think that'll be interesting for sure.
As long as it fits the palate. Yeah. It's good.
Nice.
It really is. It's good. So I'm excited. I'm looking forward to it.
When do you launch?
When do I launch? Yeah. Probably within the next maybe month. Okay. Month and a half. Okay. Yeah. Okay, cool. Yeah, toward the end of this year.
Okay, so what we're gonna have to do like a follow-up where we go to the food stand and like interview you there and like get some food.
Well, you are welcome, and I have a free plate waiting for you.
Okay, sounds good. Nice. All right, well, I really appreciate you doing this. Thank you so much. And if you guys found this interesting, definitely comment, like, and share this with your friends. Where can people find you online?
Okay, well, my YouTube channel, NY''S Corner, Nice Corner. You can find me on Facebook, that's Nice Corner as well, just put it in. And on Instagram, you can find me at Niger, that's my full name, NYJAIRE. And also you can find me too on TikTok, and that's Nice Corner as well.
So all of that will be in the description below. Remember, share this with your friends. Anybody who's planning to move here or visit, you want to check out Nye's channel, Nice Corner for sure. Make sure you check out the rest of the videos on this channel. I talk about my move as well. And with that, thanks for watching. We'll see you guys all in the next video.
Bye.
Bye. All right, so I just finished shooting. Long day so far. And because I was in West Legon and the office is in East Legon and I'm doing a bunch of work for the job, I thought I would come to the office. So here I am in the office, trafficking line items in Google Ad Manager. Those of you who know, you know. I was at the office for a couple of hours. I'm finally leaving now. It has been a long day, and I got an even longer day ahead of me tomorrow when I get to the office. But had to get here, get some work done, and I'm leaving to go home now. All right, so that was Nye from Nye's Corner. What'd you guys think? What do you think of her experience, her dating experience, her living experience, what she's doing for a living? Let me know what you guys think. Would you make the move from LA to Accra, Ghana, or from the States to Ghana? Let me know in the comments. We definitely want to hear from you. All right, guys, thanks for watching. If you know anybody who's thinking about moving from, let's say, Los Angeles to Accra, Ghana, this is an exact example of what somebody has done and what they've gone through. Share this video with them. Let them know what somebody else has done. If they want to do it, they know that someone's done it before them. Hit that thumbs up so everybody knows that you like the video, and make sure you hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell, hit all so you're notified every time a new video comes out. Thanks for watching. See you all in the next video. Bye, guys. All right, guys, if you like this video, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell, like, comment, and share it with your friends. All right, see you on the next video.